YouTube, what it do? This is Hendrick. First video on this channel. Primary purpose, man, of this channel and this video. Introduce myself. Name's Hendrick. I've been supporting the game of basketball for a very long time. Man, I've been playing and watching, studying the game of basketball since I could walk, since I could talk. I think my first words were Spalding instead of mommy or daddy. Yeah, man. Primary purpose of this channel, I just want to share my knowledge, my wealth, my wealth of knowledge with the rest of you guys, and talk about the game that I love very much, which is the NBA, and give you my thoughts on the NBA returning, which is big. Finally got something to watch. I know y'all going crazy like me, not having anything to watch. So I'm glad the NBA is back. And wanted to talk first video on this channel. Wanted to give you my opinions on the end of, as you know, the end of the year awards. Obviously the 8 regular season qualifying games in the bubble aren't going to count towards the end of the year NBA awards. So it's pretty much a wrap. So the votes are already in. So I want to give you, my thoughts and give you who I think, the media is going to vote for as well. So we'll start first with the Coach of the Year, the NBA. My personal opinion, for what I've seen, I want to give a shout out to Billy Donovan, man, with the Oklahoma City Thunder. What he's been able to do with that team. I mean, if you think about it, they've lost 2 All NBA players in Paul George and Russell Westbrook, who were on the team last year, who aren't this year. And I mean, pretty much off season, this team got essentially thrown together on the fly. I mean, you had Chris Paul. Obviously, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the trade with Paul George and Danilo Gallinari, and obviously a ton of draft picks. So, I mean, they've been playing great. With not really many household names, a lot of young and upcoming talent on that roster. And I think Billy Donovan, this is probably the best coaching job that he's done since he's became the coach of the Thunder. So I want to give a big shout out to him. The Thunder. They've been great. They've been a surprise. I didn't even think they'd make the playoffs before the season even started. So that's who I feel should be the Coach of the Year. But ultimately, I think the media is going to vote for Nick Nurse, the Toronto Raptors, which I have no problems with as well. I mean, if you look, they lost Kawhi, and they have a better record at this point this year in X number of games that they've played versus last year with Kawhi. And Nick Nurse, my personal opinion, he's definitely one of, if not the best coach right now in the NBA. He's been fantastic. And I think the media ultimately is going to vote for him for Coach of the Year. Now, as far as next award, Most Improved Player, my opinion, I think that should go to Bam Adebayo, power forward slash. He plays a center position as well with the Heat. He's definitely improved from last year to this year. All his numbers have gone up: points, rebounds, assists, blocks, field goal percentage. Everything's gone up, and it's attributed to winning. Obviously, Jimmy Butler being there is definitely a key part as far as the turnaround and why the Heat are, in my opinion, a threat to definitely represent the East in the NBA Finals. With Bam, obviously made the All-Star team this year. He's been fantastic. He's one of the most he's one of the most versatile bigs that we have in the NBA. He can guard the perimeter. He can guard bigs down low. He has a vastly, obviously has room to grow as far as on the offensive end, but he's getting better every year. And Bam Adebayo, he's definitely one of the top young not only bigs but players who's up and coming in the NBA. So I definitely think he deserved a nod. Now, who do I think the media is going to vote for? I actually do think they'll vote for Bam for this award. We have other candidates. I mean, you could make a case, honestly, for Luka Doncic. I mean, look what he's doing, averaging 29, 9, and 9 in his second year in the league. Pascal Siakam is always up, is always a candidate for this award as well. Giannis, he improves he's improved his numbers every year since he's been in the league. So I would say, those guys. There's a lot of deserving candidates, but I think Bam Adebayo, without a doubt, should take home the award for most improved player. Now, as far as the sixth man, I thought about it. It was pretty tough. You got candidates like Lou Williams. Montrezl Harrell played his tail off this year. Dennis Schroeder, he's been great as well. Who I think should win it? I definitely think it should go to Dennis Schroeder. He's been playing fantastic off the bench for the Thunder. I believe he leads the team. If not, he's first or second on the team in scoring. He's one of the best six men that we have. He's been lights out, man. He's been lights out this year, and he's definitely one of the key cogs, especially in the fourth quarter, man. I know he comes off the bench, but in crunch time, they definitely use a three-guard lineup with him, CP3, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander down the stretch. And that trio have been, if you look at the plus-minus, especially in the fourth quarter, that trio has been one of the best in the NBA. Overall, yes, Dennis Schroeder, look at what the Thunder's doing, man. They're definitely one of the most dangerous teams, I think, in this bubble. I definitely feel like they can get out of, the first round, depending on matchups, obviously. But he's been great, and man, salute to Dennis Schroeder and the rest of the Thunder. So that's who I feel should win Sixth Man of the Year. And I also feel like the media will give Dennis Schroeder the nod as well. So Dennis Schroeder is definitely my vote for Sixth Man of the Year. Now, as far as the next award, Rookie of the Year. This is a landslide. I don't even think we need to dive too much into this. Ja Morant is hands down the winner. Zion, he didn't qualify for me. He didn't play enough games. He was injured. So I don't see why he would even be an option. I think this award should be unanimous. What he's doing with Memphis. Memphis is another surprise team. They don't. If you look at their roster, not a lot of household names. But Ja, you make a case he should have made the All-Star team this year. He's been fantastic. He's great. The sky's the limit for that kid, man. He's gonna be one of the best players, I think, in the next couple of years. In the NBA, and yeah, he definitely should win the award. And I also think the media is going to vote for him. If any media personnel don't vote for him, I don't know what to say about their knowledge or what they've been watching this season. So Ja Morant's my guy for Rookie of the Year. Now, as far as some of the bigger awards, Defensive Player of the Year. We got great candidates, man. This was a tough one. Like, you could make a case for all these guys. AD, he's been playing great. Rudy Gobert. Giannis Antetokounmpo's been great. Brook Lopez has been fantastic. So all four of these guys are deserving. But, my personal opinion, I think it should go to Giannis, and I'm going to give you a couple reasons why. If you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, anchored by him and Brook Lopez, as far as net rating, their defensive rating is obviously first in the NBA. And not only first in the NBA, they have one of the best defensive ratings that we've seen probably in the last 10 to 15 years. They've been historically great, and it's led by Giannis. My opinion, what sets him apart versus the other candidates is his versatility. And what I mean by that is whether it be guarding guys in the perimeter, in guarding, bigs down low. On the weak side help defense, creating havoc. As far as opponent field goal percentage, Giannis is first against defense in that category, and he leads in a lot of other statistical, defensive categories as well. I just think there's not another player defensively who has the capability that Giannis, what he brings to the table. Guarding guys in the perimeter, he has the lateral quickness, the foot speed to keep up, with some of the quicker guards in the league. He can hold his own down low. He definitely can block shots, can rim protect, and he's obviously one of the best, rebounders, ranking third in the NBA overall in rebounds per game. So that's who I feel should win it. Now, who do I think the media is going to vote for? Man, I was torn on this. I wasn't sure. I'm gonna say they're gonna vote. I think they're gonna give Giannis the slight edge over AD because of some of the things that I mentioned as far as the Bucks and what they're doing defensively. Man, they've been lights out. Man, they're suffocating, especially with him and Brook. Brook Lopez, I think he should be first team all defense over Rudy Gobert. He's been fantastic. This is the best defense I've seen Brook play since he's been in the league, since I've been watching. So Giannis is my guy for Defensive Player of the Year. Now, before I get into the MVP, I want to talk about the Executive of the Year, who I think, because as far as the front office, they don't get enough shine, in my opinion, for what they do behind the scenes. So who I think should win the Executive of the Year, I think it should go to Rob Pelinka, GM for the Lakers. He's been great, man. Obviously, pulling off that trade, getting AD here, and then obviously, you gave up Lonzo, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, in that trade to acquire AD. And just look at some of the offseason moves that he's made. Even after that, picking up, signing guys like Avery Bradley, getting Danny Green here. And even during the season when there's been kind of turmoil as far as, injuries, Avery Bradley backing out. What does he do? He brings on Dion Waiters, signs J.R. Smith. He's done given with what they had. Obviously, they were in contention. They were very close to getting Kawhi as well. So Rob Pelinka, he's done. It's a complete 180 from what the roster that they had last year, and he's built them from a team who didn't make the playoffs to now is one of the favorites. You can make a case they are the favorite. Not only to represent the West in the finals, but to play in the to win it all. And as far as what Rob Pelinka's done with the roster, can't be denied. So, that's who I think should win that award. Rob Pelinka should win Executive of the Year, and I think the media will give it to him too, as well. So, and then as far as MVP goes, this is the biggest debate. A lot of media outlets, for whatever reason, think LeBron is the MVP, which I can understand. Like, look, what he's doing, 17th year, with his age, attrition, the amount of mileage on his body. I get it, man. He's averaging 26, 8, and leading the NBA in assists at almost 11 a game. And the Lakers have the best record in the Western Conference. They've been phenomenal this year, and LeBron is definitely a big reason for that. But he's not the only reason for that. And I don't think a lot of people are giving AD enough credit, who leads the Lakers in most of the statistical categories: points, rebounds, blocks, steals, field goal percentage. His PER is higher than LeBron's. LeBron's PER is only 9th in the entire association. So, and AD's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, and it's probably going to make first team all defense. Basketball's a two-way. You got to play both sides of the ball. I mean, LeBron's great on offense, but I mean, over the last couple of years, let's keep it real. He's not a great defender. He picks and chooses spots because he has to conserve energy on the offensive end because of the amount of attrition, a lot of the amount of wear and tear on his body. So I definitely think AD's not getting enough recognition for what he's contributed. I mean, LeBron's numbers, he averaged 27, 8, and 8 last year, but the Lakers weren't in contention. AD is a big reason. People don't want to acknowledge this for whatever reason, but you could make a case AD's the best player on the Lakers and has been this year. He's the biggest difference between the Lakers this year and last year. So yeah, I mean, normally when you have arguably two top 5 players on the same team, they normally cancel each other out as far as MVP voting. So I don't see why this year, the voting would be any different. So in my eyes, the winner, it's clear cut. I mean, the real question is whether it's going to be unanimous or not. Giannis has been phenomenal. I mean, he's averaging 30. Round up 30, 14, and 6, and shooting about 55% from the field. His PER is top 5 all time. The Bucks have the best record in basketball. He's only averaging 31 minutes a game. So he's averaging 4 less minutes per game than LeBron is, and his statistics are greater. He's playing with an all-star, but he's not playing with another top 5 player. And people want to say the Eastern Conference is worse than the Western Conference. If you look at the standings and looking at the teams in the Western Conference, how many teams can you legitimately say have a great chance to represent the West and get out of the West and get to the finals this year? The Lakers are one. Clippers, maybe Houston, depending how things align, depending on matchups. So realistically, only just the 2 LA teams. In the East, I mean, you got the Bucks, you got Toronto has a valid case, the Sixers have a case, the Celtics have a case, and the Miami Heat have a case as well. It's 5 teams in their Eastern Conference who could get to the finals. And the West is it's top heavy. The rest of the Western Conference isn't that great this year. So this belief that the Eastern Conference, historically has been the lesser of the 2 conferences, but this year you can make a case the Eastern Conference is better than the Western Conference from top to bottom, and that's just facts. If you've been watching the game, I mean, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, and people want to discredit Giannis because he's dominating the Eastern Conference. I mean, LeBron won 4 MVPs in the Eastern Conference. We didn't discredit that. I mean, we discredited the Eastern Conference as far as him being able to get to the finals 8 years in a row. So, I mean, Giannis, he kills LeBron in every statistical, looking at the box score, plus, minus. When Giannis is on the floor, the Bucks are plus 16. That's on the floor, and when he's off the floor, it's plus 4. He blows LeBron in every statistical category. The Bucks have the best record in basketball. He's been the best player this year. He's dominated. I mean, he's having one of the best statistical seasons of all time. His PR ranks top 5 in NBA history, and plus what he brings to you on the defensive end. I mean, he's complete. Outside of the jump shot, consistent. He's one consistent jump shot from being an all-time great and being damn near unstoppable to defend. So I think Giannis is the MVP. I don't even think the votes are going to be that close, and I also feel like the media agrees. Even though ESPN and some of these other outlets, like Colin Cowherd and some of these guys, Nick Wright, some of these guys on Fox Sports, they're very hard LeBron supporters. But, I mean, the facts are the facts. Giannis has been the best player, from game 1 up until this point. And, Giannis is going to win this. He's going to be a 2-time MVP. And I honestly think Giannis could probably win the next couple of MVPs. I think he's going to go on a tear. I think him being he's going to be the best player in the NBA fairly soon. If not by the end of these playoffs, I think there'll be others who believe that as well. So, yeah. So those are the awards. Those are my opinions. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Definitely want to grow this channel. Give you more content, my thoughts. I'll also be, adding more videos as well. Not only talking about the NBA, but I'll sprinkle in some college basketball as well. I'll also, for my basketball hoopers, I do hoop as well. So I give you some techniques as far as, how to get better, improve different things that you can do to get better, on the court. But yeah, man, next video, I'll probably break down maybe either tomorrow or Friday, depending, how my schedule is. I'll get into the All-NBA, all defensive teams as well. I'll give you my thoughts on those prestigious awards. And yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah, man, looking forward to catching you guys on the next video. Share the videos, subscribe, and talk to you guys soon. Take care. Peace.